Hello, Bronco Nation. Welcome to our latest Bronco Nation Live. We are here at the Woodward Dream Cruise in Michigan, and we are excited to be here with you guys. This is our first live in quite some time. We've had a couple broadcasts, but we thank you so much for being patient with us as we got started. I believe it's going to be worth the wait. We are here with a couple hundred of our closest friends and family, Bronco owners, everything from 1966 Broncos all the way up to 2024s. We've got all generations, we have Broncos, we have sports, and we have so many fantastic owners here with us. My name is Laura Zielinski. I'm here with Bronco Nation, and we've got Cameron, who is my coworker here, Cameron Hunter. Cameron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Laura. We are now live. It took a little bit to get live. Thanks for everyone tuning in. This is the 29th year of the annual Woodward Dream Cruise, 5th year at the Bronco Nation of us being here. So thank you everyone for joining us in person and online. And I can't wait to get started. We have a lot of great guests here with us today and a lot of great topics to cover. So I'm happy to be here.
Great. I'm glad for that. Cam, this is your first Bronco Corral, correct?
So this is my first Bronco Corral, not my first Dream Cruise. I grew up as a kid coming to Dream Cruise, setting up my lawn chairs with my family on the side of the road and hanging out for a couple hours, seeing some cool classic cars. So highly recommend to any car enthusiast, car lover out there. Detroit, Michigan around this time of year is the place to be.
It certainly is, and you guys will hear some background noise every once in a while. We'll just stop talking. If stuff gets really loud for us, you may be able to tune it up.
That was almost on cue right there.
Yeah. But the Woodward Dream Cruise, if you're not familiar, is the world's largest one-day classic car cruise. We've got people who come internationally for this. We even had people come to the Bronco Corral from Iceland in years past. So no distance is too far. So many of you guys are in the chat right now talking about PNW in California and Texas and all sorts of different places, Washington. We would love to have you out at these ones. We do have several people from out of state this year, and we are excited to see who comes the farthest next time too. So the last couple days, Bronco Nation members have been going around the Metro Detroit area, and we have been visiting some of the places that are famous in Ford history, and having a great time together with Broncos, doing cruises, doing plant tours, all those kinds of things. So this is something that we've done every year for the last 3 years, and we revisited some of the places this year. We're going to show you some B-roll from that and some footage from our various little travels, and we'll talk over it as we're going. And we started out for our first time at the Michigan Assembly Plant, and we have not toured that before. The Michigan Assembly Plant here is in Wayne, Michigan, and it was built in 1957, and it houses the lines for the Bronco and the Ranger, and that was a really cool experience. What did you think about that, Cam?
Yeah, that was fantastic. I heard in the past couple of years, just being able to see it from the outside or just a peek of the inside, and it was great going through the partial part of the plant and seeing the Broncos being manufactured real time. It was great to have lots of Bronco Nation members joining us to see where their Bronco was born. So very special for me. Lots of moving parts, so you definitely have to watch where you're walking, but yeah, lots of fun at the Michigan Assembly Plant.
So let us know in the chat if you got one of the Bronco baby pics. If you guys know what I'm talking about, there is pictures of your Bronco coming off the assembly line. And if you got one of those, let us know down below. But it was cool to see in person some of the vehicles being put together, and we saw Broncos and Rangers, so we're thankful for the opportunity to do that, and we're glad for the guests that we are able to get in. And we know that these events, we wish we could take in so many more people. We are capped on certain numbers, so we're sorry for the ones that we weren't able to get in, but watch for those registrations to open next year, and we're going to see what we can do and get some additional people in and into various areas. And after we did the Michigan Assembly Plant, we had dinner at Ford's Garage, which there's Ford's Garage all over the country. We've got down in Florida, and we got a couple of our members down in Florida in the chat right now too. May have been at a Ford's Garage, but that's just a themed restaurant. Really fun to go to. Everything's kind of decorated as a 1920s service station. We had a burger bar for all the members.
That's right.
Good time there. And then on Friday, we went over to the Ford Paquette plant. But tell us a little about the Ford Paquette plant, Cam.
Yeah, so this was my first time at the Paquette plant. right there in Detroit, Michigan. So with the Paquette plant, it was built in 1904, and it was actually the birthplace of the Model T. So we went on tour with a tour guide from that Paquette plant. They have a wealth of knowledge, and they did a fantastic job of taking us through and explained to us the Model A through the Model Z, and we learned a lot about Ford's history as well as the vehicles. So great with a great event with the wealth of knowledge that those tour guides gave us. And then after that, yeah, we're just getting to Fairlane Estate.
So Fairlane Estate is the former home of Clara Henry Ford, and they have been working on the restoration and reimagination of that for many, many years. They recently finished the first floor of the home. Absolutely gorgeous. Everything was done so incredibly well. 2 years ago, we took the Bronco Nation members, and we were only allowed to get a picture out front because there was so much work being done on the inside. And one of our members was talking about how it's kind of been a little evolution, and now we made it into the inside, and then we're going to see where we can get from there. But so many of you, we had put in the chat too, that you have contributed to us being able to be there because you have participated in the Bronco and Bronco Raptor raffle giveaways over the last couple of years, gotten tickets in hopes of winning those. We did have one member win one at one point, brought it to Woodward, which is exciting. Beautiful building. The grounds are open for anyone, so if you are in the Detroit area, definitely check out those grounds right there on the Rouge River. They're working on the power plant and the garage at this point now, and that houses some really incredible stuff, so worth checking out. Great piece of history. Definitely want to continue seeing that restored. After that, we took the members over to the world headquarters, Ford's world headquarters. Cam, I feel like you've seen that many times over, and from work, from visiting it. Tell me what you thought about all those Broncos out front.
That's right. So after we headed over from the estate, we all parked the Broncos at Ford Motor Company's world headquarters, and got the drone up in the air, and got a lot of video and pictures with everyone staying in front of their Bronco. We had lots of generations represented at Bronco Nation through this picture, so it'll be iconic. You can check that out on our socials, and while I talk about our socials real quick, you can follow us at the Bronco Nation on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube as well, and to stay up to date with all the Bronco Nation news.
Yes, definitely. So we always have to get one of the first generations out front in front of all our 6 generations because they are the owners that got us to where we're at, and we're so thankful that all these Broncos came back, and we have ones that we can call our own now. So after that, we took, I think there was about 60 plus Broncos at one point. It was a lot of Broncos. It's difficult to do a convoy. There's a little stress, about those, but we're grateful to everybody who helped us get all the way down from the world headquarters to Woodward, and we had a great time weaving in and out of traffic, driving with our flashers on. But that's a part of the fun of Woodward Dream Cruise is you get to see great groups of many vehicles, and sometimes we're in a huge convoy like we were. So
yeah, and the event seemed to start a little bit early yesterday. We were doing our convoy down Woodward, like Laura was saying, and people were already out on the side of the road. So the Woodward Dream Cruise technically is today on Saturday, but I think people get very excited and they like to celebrate a little bit early, starting earlier in the week. So
earlier in the month if you
if
you live around here. It is a one-day cruise, but people get ready and they are eager and out there early. So last year at the Bronco Corral, we had close to 400 Broncos. We have an amazing turnout again this year. We have been threatened with rain on and off for the last couple of days, but it has held off for the most part so far. If your top or your doors are off, you may have gotten a little bit sprinkled on, but nothing has been torrential, and we're hoping it continues that way for the rest of the day because I still haven't gotten around and able to check out some of the Broncos. Have you, Cam?
I've been able to get around, and so for those of you who may not be with us in person, we have our Broncos split off in generations with 6 generations in the north lot on the end of the land that we're on, and then the old gens mixed in with some 6 gens due to space are on the south lot. So if you're just getting to the Dream Cruise a little bit late and you're hearing this, be sure to check out all the Broncos in the lot. There's a lot of great ones with upfitted vehicles with parts and accessories and different cool trinkets that you can check out, so be sure to do that.
Yeah, and speaking of upfitted accessories and vehicles, we have done a refresh on one of our Bronco Nation Broncos, our Badlands. This was the Iceland Bronco that we took over, brought Bronco back to Iceland, and we have Jon Melton, Nashville Early Broncos, and he did a walk around and upfit. So we're going to turn it over to Jon, and we're going to see what this Bronco is looking like today.
Let's do it.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Cam. It's a beautiful day here at the Woodward Dream Cruise. I'm standing in front of the Bronco Nation Badlands Bronco. Now this Bronco is no special, or it is a special Bronco because this was one of the first Broncos that made it to the Arctic Circle outside of North America. If you remember, Jordan Parker took this Bronco to Iceland and, just went through a bunch of history with the Bronco in Iceland. Incredible video. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to check that out. But I have taken this Bronco and I have actually started getting it ready for the trail. So there's a couple things that I'm doing install videos on with this Bronco. First and foremost is this ADD, Addictive Desert Designs front bumper. This is their Stealth Fighter bumper. It's a low profile bumper. You can put larger tires on the Bronco with this bumper, and it just gives more room really to have fun with the Bronco with this bumper. You could put a 30-inch light bar inside of here and some additional lighting if you wanted to. Also, what we did was we put the ADD front skid plate on because it just matched the bumper. So this is a great upgrade if you're looking for a new bumper. I would definitely check that out. Another thing we did up front, super simple install. We did the black grill letters. So this is a Badlands, so these grill letters would have come in white, and they did come in white, but we did a little upgrade there and just did the black grill letters. And then moving on, we put this Trail Racks roof rack up on top of the Bronco, and this thing is super beefy. It is a very stout roof rack, but it was super easy to put together. I mean, really, like, it was tedious because there was a lot of, little nuts and bolts that you had to get together. But really, outside of that, it was super easy to go on. Goes on, the back holds on up here and then goes in through the accessory ready windshield mount in the front. And then we've got a 40-inch Heretic light bar up there as well. And it just looks really good, ready for a rooftop tent or whatever adventure that you want to do in this Bronco. This roof rack is ready for you. Now, if you come to the back of the Bronco, another simple upgrade that really just changes the look of the Bronco, but is so nice. We did the matte black Ford Performance emblem. I like to call it the pony emblem right there, and it just looks great, changes the look of the Bronco just a little bit, adds that little touch if you so want. Another thing we did in the back, we put the Addictive Desert Designs rear Stealth Fighter bumper, and this thing looks great. And we actually threw the Heretic lights inside of that bumper. And the cool thing about this bumper is it's actually made for a 37-inch tire. So you got a lot more clearance in the bumper to hold the tire. So we could go from our 35s to a 37, and you got the room in the bumper, which is super nice and very helpful if you're upgrading your tire size. Another thing we did was we put this Thule bike rack. This is the Chamber 4, and all this, all this stuff is available at the Bronco Nation store. And remember, members get exclusive pricing. So if you're looking for any of this stuff, definitely head over to the Bronco Nation store. If you're not a member yet, make sure to join and become a member for that exclusive pricing. But yeah, this Thule bike rack is great. You can fit 4 bikes on there. It folds up when you're ready to put the bikes on. It has some straps where you can strap the bikes down, and it's pretty secure, especially for a Bronco. And the cool thing is, you pop it open, and your tire and the hatch doesn't actually hit the bike rack. Now, you can't open it up all the way, but it at least allows you to get inside the back of the Bronco, allows you to be able to access that as you're going along. The last thing that we did, pretty nice upgrade. We all know that the Bronco lighting isn't very good, and so what we did was, if I can find it, we put some Heretic interior lights. It's daytime, it's hard to see them, but put some Heretic lights right up here, you know, right there in the Bronco for the inside, for the cab area, and they're super great, especially when you're going camping, taking this on an adventure. This thing is ready to hit the trail. So there you go. Cam and Laura, back to you. A quick review of what I've been working on this week.
Thank you so much, Jon, for that. That looks amazing. And like Jon said, if you are a Bronco Nation member, which many of you guys are, you are able to save 10% on those parts and many more in the store, in addition to gear and merch and some other items too. So, and not just discounts. When you're being a Bronco Nation member, you can get into base camps, you can get into the special member activities like we were talking about earlier at the start of the stream, and is just a great way to get some additional items for your Bronco at a little bit less cost. So we are here with another familiar face. We are here with Natalie Simon. Natalie, why don't you give yourself an introduction?
Hi everyone, great to see you again. It's been a little bit
back.
of time
Yes.
since I've last seen you. Yeah, so I am the marketing and events manager for Ford Performance Parts and Accessories, so it's great to be here again.
So Natalie has joined us from King of the Hammers Live.
Yes, we were
2
at
years
Moab.
ago.
Yeah, we've
Yep.
had a couple of run-ins.
So she's at Ford Performance Parts and Accessories, and if you are not someone who is going to do all the upfits like Jon did himself on our Bronco, she's got a great package to talk about that won't void your warranty and can get you some interesting parts in your Broncos. Natalie, why don't you tell us about those packages?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, Ford Performance Parts and Accessories has a little bit for everybody. So if you are an off-roader, we've got recovery boards, we've got everything that you need for going off-roading. And then we've also got, we also have anything if you're a soccer mom or a soccer dad. We've got everything. But this
Yes.
time I have I've got appearance package for you. And it's called the Sinister Bronze package. The Sinister Bronze wheels, the black lug nuts, the upgraded spare tire cover, the spare tire carrier, the matte black script badges, and the smoke front oval. So this package is super, super badass, and it looks great on the green. And like I said, what we're showing is the Sinister Bronze package. I also want to note that we're offering, again, the matte black package as well. You can go to your dealer and you can ask for this package. It's available on Big Ben, Black Diamond, and Outer Banks. Any engine and any transmission.
Okay.
Yeah, so and non-Sasquatch. I also want to mention that as well.
And for can you backdate any year, or this is going to be 2024?
2024 for right now. We're looking at something for 25 and beyond as well. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So Natalie, you talk about these appearance packages. Let's say I want to go in and I want these things on my Bronco. Is that just come already equipped for me, or how do I go about getting one of these packages?
No, you can go to your dealer and you can ask your dealer for this package. They should be able to install it on site as you wait, or it'll take a couple of hours actually. So give it about a day. But you can go to your dealer. It's about a $73, give or take, $100 package, but that includes the tires, the installation. And I also want to mention that this is warranty, so it does not void your new vehicle warranty. This package is also warranted.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That is a great option. So if you guys are interested in that, contact your dealer, and you could have a really great looking Bronco that's functional too. I have some friends who have the Ford Performance lift, really love it. Feels like it really improves the suspension on their vehicle too. So some good aesthetics and some good things for off-roading, and like Natalie said, it's good for everybody. So thank you so much for joining us, Natalie, letting us know about that. That's some exciting news. And we will see you hopefully on another live stream soon.
Awesome.
Thank
Sounds
you,
good.
Natalie.
Better weather?
Thanks, guys.
I talk about it being hot, long, humid, and it starts pouring rain again. So sorry about that for everybody who's got their tops off again. All right, so Cam, what do we got next?
So moving on, we're going to have a couple of Bronco Nation members take us through their vehicles, and we're going to show off some different builds and hear from Bronco Nation members.
Fantastic. I'm excited to see these ones. There's been a lot of great vehicles at the cruise, everything from stock to classic, And we're going to see some ones that have been upfitted, and we're going to see some classics too. So let's roll it.
All right, so one of the coolest things about being in the Bronco Corral is you get the first gens as well. And we grab this guy. If you don't know who this is the infamous Jeff from Jeff's Bronco Graveyard. I know him because, I mean, we got all of our parts from, got the first gen parts. So thank you for what you do for the Bronco community, but more importantly too, I mean, you got this sweet Bronco. Tell me about this thing.
This is a 1976 Midnight Blue Metallic. It's a 1 year, 302 automatic, power steering, power brakes. Second owner, older gentleman bought it. His wife drove it. When he retired from Ford Motor Company, he restored it, and he went to the shows. His son was going to give it to his son, and his son tragically passed away. So he called me up there one day when he got too old to drive. He says, Jeff, I'm going to sell you this Bronco, but you promised me never to sell it. So the cool thing about this is when I got my 2021, I went up to Wrighton Ford, which used to be Wilson Ford, but this came, so I drove this up to get my new Bronco.
Oh, wow.
So it was pretty cool, yeah.
Well, this thing is beautiful, and yeah, stock lift, pretty stock tires, and I love the hubcaps on here, the original hubcaps.
Yeah. This truck was, older people drove it, so it was never off-roaded too much. It'll go down the expressway 75 with one finger on the wheel. It drives really nice.
Well, it's definitely one of the prettiest Broncos here. Thank you for letting us see it and talking to us.
And thank you
definitely give this guy a follow.
Remember, there's two kinds of people that own Broncos and people that wish to own Broncos.
All right, now we're here in the show field, the Bronco Nation show field. I'm here with Jackie, and we saw her Bronco, and I was like, okay, we got to talk about this. Tell me about this wrap. This thing is crazy.
So this wrap is called Fierce Fuchsia Gloss.
Okay.
By 3M, but we had it laminated to make it a satin finish.
Wow.
And then I did the Galaxy door jabs, roll bars, and hood for accents.
That hood is crazy.
Yeah.
Why the Galaxy? I mean, what was the thought?
You know, I had a whole vision at first of something else, and then I got it done at Wicked Metallics in Wyandotte. And they kind of brainstormed with me about some different options, and we came up with this because the other option that I wanted to do quality-wise, they didn't think it would work as well as this would.
Yeah.
So, and I've always been a fan of Galaxy and, you know, the outer space, shooting stars.
So cool.
Yep, I've always loved Galaxy, so it just works.
Why Bronco? Why not get a Jeep? Why'd you go Bronco?
I've always been a Ford girl. I've never had anything other than Fords. I just like the way the Bronco looks over the Jeep. Because everybody's like, well, why didn't you get a Jeep? And if I really wanted a Jeep, they're here, I can get a Jeep.
Yeah.
But I actually waited the 2 years to get the Bronco. I love the sleek look of it. It's more rounded versus boxy. I've always been into like bigger trucks. Never had one, could never afford one before.
Right.
But now I got a little bit of money to play with, got a big girl job, you can finally get one, and I like that you can customize it, you can do whatever you want to do to it.
And you were telling me you have a family member who worked at Ford, right?
Yeah, so my grandfather, he worked at Ford, retired from Ford. I've always had Fords. He's always had Fords. My dad worked at GM, and he had a thing about me always having Fords. But nope, my very first car was a Ford Escort, 1997.
Nice. There you go.
I've always been a Ford girl.
Ford Escort.
Yes.
All right. Well, Jackie, thank you so much
Of
for
course.
letting us see your Bronco. It's beautiful.
Of course. Thank you so much.
That was really cool seeing Jeff and Jackie's Broncos there. Many of us have parts from Jeff's Bronco Graveyard. If you've got the sight mount for your 6th gen Bronco, so it's not just for early Broncos that he's got. So check out his site if you want, or if you're local, you can order online and then pick up in person. And Jackie's Bronco is beautiful too, so it's awesome to see. We are joined by some more familiar faces if you've been to a Bronco base camp before. So welcome, Brian, Jessica, and Claira Noble. How are you guys doing? Good. I'm so glad to have these here. It's so wonderful to have people come back from event to event and to get to know you guys. And so it's a pleasure to have you guys on camera. Jessica and Brian both have Broncos. Whose came first?
That's a funny story.
Yeah, tell the story.
Let's hear it.
So I was due for for a car upgrade from the Mama minivan.
Okay.
And I told my husband, I said, I'm having a midlife crisis. I'd like a 4x4 I can take doors off and tops off. And that's before Bronco was released and they were taking pre-orders. So we went to go test drive something that was not a Ford Bronco.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, you're not going to like it. I promise you, you're not going to enjoy it whatsoever. And I kind of brushed him off, and we went to test drive one, and I definitely didn't like it. It was missing all the creature comforts and cool features. So I told him I'd take our Ford Explorer and drive that as the family car, and he could order a Bronco, which is something he's wanted for a long time, even a 90s or 80s. So he placed a pre-order. We waited about 9 months, went and picked it up, and within 30 days I said, yeah, you're going to go get another one because I'm keeping this.
Amazing. So, Jessica, what is your Bronco?
So I have a 21 Outer Banks in
Okay.
carbonized gray.
Okay, Sasquatch, non-Sasquatch?
It is a non-Sasquatch, but we put a 2-inch lift and 35-inch tires on
Okay,
it.
all right. And Brian, what are you rolling with right now?
I have a 23 Badlands Sasquatch.
Okay, wonderful. So we first, I think, met you guys at Hollyoaks, Michigan last Woodward, possibly, and then we saw you over at Overland Expo East, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And did we run into any events in between? I'm trying to think.
So we've actually 3 years of the Woodward activities. This is
Okay.
our 3rd year.
Wonderful.
Hollyoaks, you're right, was the first
Yeah.
year. Camping and off-roading was amazing. We've also done 2 off-rodeos, Moab and New Hampshire. We're signed up for the Outpost in November, and last fall we got to spend an amazing time weekend down at Overland Expo East.
Claira, what do you think about the Broncos?
I love them.
You love them? Are you going to drive one of them one day?
I do.
Are you
gonna
gonna?
take hers?
You're gonna take hers. All right. What color is Mom's?
Mom's is carbonized gray.
Oh, that's what I've got too. Great
I
color.
I think I will paint it.
So, what do you guys like about coming to the Bronco Nation events? Is it community for you guys?
Yeah, that's an amazing community to come out and be able to see everybody's individualized changes that they've done or modifications, see all the fun things that they do as families together, and be able to exchange stories and enjoy the time together.
It is so much fun to have the families here, and it just goes to show that like anyone is welcome here, of course, any ages, even if you can't. Claire, you probably didn't get to go to Off-Roadeo, did you?
I can't.
You can't drive. No, not yet. But, so that's the one downside, but everybody is welcome. So much fun to have our members here. What event do you guys think you're going to next? Are you going to go to Overland Expo East? We haven't announced it, but if we're going, are you going to be there?
Yeah.
All right.
East, and then the Outpost in November in North Carolina. Really looking forward to that.
Fantastic. We're going to talk about the Outpost in a little bit more. So, you guys enjoy this Dream Cruise this year? Good time? Good.
It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's so good to have you guys having here. Anything else you want to say before I let you go?
I got a quick question for the Nobles. So from the time that you guys both got your Broncos, and then from the time till now, how do you feel in your confidence and comfortability of off-roading? You want to start?
Sure. I've never done it in my life before the Off-Roadeo. Yep.
And was Hollyoaks your first off-road park that you had been to?
Yeah,
and
really.
That was experience,
Yeah, it was-
really? Yeah.
Yep. So I would say I'm not advanced in any way, shape, or form, but I'm not a beginner either. So I've enjoyed it a lot, and it's definitely made me brave in what I'm comfortable doing in the truck, and what we're willing to try.
And a quick question to add on to that. Would you say a lot of that comfortability has come from what you've learned at the off-rodeos, more of what you've done yourself, mix of both?
A mix of both.
Yeah.
So I think the first off-roadeo I was pretty intimidated. We didn't even have a build date at that point in time.
Oh, wow.
So it was the first time we had even been in one.
Yeah.
By the second one, I was the primary driver, going up rock hills and whatnot in Moab, and that was pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I have to give it out to Brian. I got a chance to talk to you earlier, and we talk about community, and I've seen Brian going around talking to everybody, as well as the family with his wife Jessica and their daughter Claira. So we appreciate you guys showing up to our events and having a great time. That's really what it's all about, to make owning a Bronco easier and more enjoyable. So thank you to each and every one of you for coming out today.
Thank you for what you do and for having us at the events. That community is what makes it so special.
It really is. We're here because of a vehicle, but we're not here for the vehicle. At the end of the day, it's seeing you guys again, catching up, seeing what's going on. Can't wait to see Claira roll in on one of these Woodwards, driving herself. So we're waiting for that day, okay?
Thank you.
We'll see you guys at another event soon, okay?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you all.
All right, so we've got coming up next some more talk about off-roading, Bronco Off-Road Adventures. So we're going to do a little camera swap. You might be able to see a little bit of the feed of the Woodward in the background, enjoy some moments of cars going by and a Bronco in the background while we swap in Mark. So
Just give us just a second here and we'll...
Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you.
So if you guys have not been to a Bronco Off-Roadeo yet, I think that's a good commendation to go to that one. Any of the 4, 5 now, Moab, Texas, Tennessee,
Tennessee,
New
we can
Hampshire,
finally say that out loud.
and Las Vegas. Yeah, so plenty of good ones. So we are ready to introduce our next guest. So why don't you take it away, Cam?
Well, today we have with us, I will not introduce for yourself, but a gentleman from Ford. Mark, would you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your involvement at Ford?
Sure. So thanks for having me on. Love being here at Woodward. My name is Mark Schaller. I'm an experienced owner for our enthusiast vehicles, so I get to work on all the fun cars, which is why we're here out in Woodward. And one of the things we wanted to chat about today was a new initiative that Ford is doing called Bronco Off-Road Adventures. It's really focused on overlanding. We've heard from a lot of our owners, especially Bronco owners, that they are looking for things to go do after they buy the Bronco. And we actually worked with Bronco Nation to do an overlanding adventure at the King of Hammers earlier in the year, and it went so well, and we got requests from owners to do more. So we're launching 3 trips this year, starting in about a month. One in Vermeo Ranch, the second Moab to Telluride, and the last is the Immigrant Trail out in Nevada.
Right on, Mark. So
That's over by the sand dunes, isn't it?
It's
Winnemucca?
yeah. So Immigrant Trail is really neat. It's actually similar to where they host Burning Man
Okay.
out in that area. So you have desert playa that you can go on. Part of what we're trying to do is it's a guided overlanding adventure. We will have multiple expert guides. Customers bring their own Broncos with them, bring their own camping gear. We'll lead you on a mix of both public land as well as private land. So we're going to give people the chance to drive on trails they've never driven on before, and then lead you to the most epic spots to pitch your tent and have a campsite, and then we're going to cater all the meals for you.
Oh, wonderful.
So imagine having a tent under the desert with the stars, 5-star meal catered by a chef, campfire, other Bronco owners, and we're limiting it to 10 per trip. So it's very limited. We've actually sold out 2 of the 3 trips. We've got a couple spots left. We're hoping to fill that up here soon and provide a really great vacation for a lot of Bronco owners.
We were there when the first group, rolled into King of the Hammers at the beginning of this year, and it was so exciting to see how happy they were of everything that they experienced. They actually did a life-saving measure while they were out there. You heard about that?
I did.
So they came across some people who were stranded, and so it's like adventures inside adventures inside adventures.
That car had been stranded for roughly a day.
Yeah.
And as the crew went through on the way to KOH, they came across them, they winched them out, they helped them, which is really what this is all about, right? They're going to learn some skills.
Yep.
The guides are going to show you maybe some new things you've never done before. And at the same time, you're going to have just the most fun you'll ever have in a Bronco.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a fantastic time. And if you are familiar with the area where they're going in the Nevada trip, it is really a gorgeous area, a lot of fun to play with in your Bronco, test out some of the different modes, and enjoy some camping. So you said there's a few spots left?
Yes, we're selling out fast.
Okay.
Overlandadventures.ford.com is where people can go. We actually have quite a few Bronco Nation members already signed up. We did an early access pass for Bronco Nation. Have quite a few people that have signed up for us. We've got a few spots left. And if you can't go this year or it sells out before you get a chance, we do have a wait list. So what our plan is, we're going to launch more trips next year as well. So I know it takes a little bit of time to be able to plan your vacations, childcare, all the things you got to do to go on an epic 4-day, 3-night adventure. So if you can't go this year, sign up, and what we'll do is we'll give those that get on the wait list early access to next year's trips, so you can start planning today.
Thank you so much, Mark. Do you have any questions, Cameron, about that?
I just wanted to call out that link that Mark mentioned is in our description. So if you want to check out more about Bronco Off-Road Adventures, head down to the description and click on that link and you'll be able to scroll through and check out all the details. So
Thank you for letting us know about that, Mark.
Thank you
Sounds
for having
great.
me.
I'm excited to maybe try one of those myself one
yeah,
day.
me as well. I'm ready to get out there.
Yeah.
We're
A few
sold.
Spots, come on.
Yeah,
We're sold.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some of our favorite members out there in that exact area with his dog. So Dan and his dog. Thank you, Mark. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Dream Cruise,
Thanks,
and
guys.
we will have you on a future live stream,
Yeah,
hopefully too.
Thanks,
Thank
Mark
you
and
so
Tom,
much.
for being on.
Thanks.
Okay, now going back to some more off-roading adventures, we're going to bring on one of your favorite trail guides, Corey Rice. So, Corey, why don't you come on over?
Corey is, well, I'll let him introduce myself, but Corey, as you step on over here, why don't you give us a little introduction of who you are and your involvement with Bronco?
Yeah, absolutely. Name's Corey Rice. I've been with the Bronco Off-Roadeo program since it began. Was a trail guide down in Texas, and now that other T word that has been mentioned, I am going to be the site producer in the Tennessee location also. So really excited about getting that built and ready to go, and just glad to expand our reach to another area of the map there.
That's right.
So,
That's right. That southeast region there. So, Corey, we have something coming up called Bronco Off-Roadeo Outpost. We'll actually be there tomorrow and Monday. We'll be in Hollyoaks, Michigan, for those of you who don't know. So can you give us a little bit of the rundown of the day of what people are going to experience out there on the trails?
Absolutely. So for our event tomorrow, we are focusing on our approach, breakover, departure, all of that kind of stuff that we want to focus on. So line selection, all of that is really what that event is more focused on. We've got several of these outposts coming up throughout the rest of the year, and we wanted to sort of hone in on different things at each outpost. So this one, a little bit more about that line choice and that type of it as we're doing it. We're going to continue straight from after that and head to Pennsylvania, where it's going to be a little more focused on recovery, an advanced recovery course there with it. So a lot of those are happening. If you haven't seen that yet, look it up. We've got a few open spots left for it. Maybe if you can't join that epic 3 and 4 day long trip, come spend the day with us. We're still going to teach you as much as we can in that day and get you out on those trails using your Bronco while you're out there also. And that's the other thing. Any Bronco that wants to come, feel free. We'll teach you how to use your Bronco, whether you're no locking differentials or you're a Raptor. We'll do all of them. So Bronco Sport, welcome also. So glad to have any kind of Bronco out there. I love all of them, so I just love seeing what they can do and what people can do after a little bit of teaching and education of what they have purchased there. So
yeah, it's really great to see that confidence grow throughout the day as you see people maybe come in a little bit nervous. I was actually had the opportunity to be at our last Outpost event in Redmond, Oregon. And we had a couple people come in who verbally said they were nervous, maybe some we could just tell by their body language. And at the end of the day, we had a bunch of smiling faces come back. So that was great to see. And as you mentioned earlier, we do have an Outpost tomorrow and Monday, which is the 18th and 19th at Hollyoaks. And then later next week, on the 23rd and 24th, we head to Rock Run, Pennsylvania. Later this year, we'll head to North Carolina. We'll head to Texas.
Yep, yeah, Escondido Draw in October, and then 1st of November in Uwharrie National Forest in North Carolina.
That's right. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, for next year that we can get another set of Outpost events. So
absolutely.
Laura, anything for Corey as we talk about Outpost?
Well, I get to do it myself tomorrow with LED, so we'll be over there at Hollyoaks, let you guys know how it goes. Every single time that I do anything with the Bronco Off-Roadeo Trail Guides, I pick up new tips, I learn more, I get better off-road, so it's always enjoyable. And the great thing about these too is they are scaled to different levels, so they've got a 101, which is what we're doing tomorrow, so I'm going to start right back at the basics, maybe unlearn some bad habits and pick up some, get some better at some other ones. And then they've got ladies' days, and they've got ones for more skilled off-roaders too. So go to the website. Cameron's got the link in the description box, and you can check out the various various days, and they've got them, I think, easy, medium, and hard. They're scaled.
Yep, that's right.
Yep. And they let you know too by what your Bronco is capable of as well too. So excited about those. Excited to see what happens tomorrow. I think it's supposed to rain. We're gonna have a good muddy day tomorrow.
We were scouting a little earlier today, and it
Yeah.
was pouring on us, so it's going to be
Okay.
a muddy, fun day for sure. So,
And that is
yeah.
part of the fun. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Corey. Glad to have you. We're going to report back on these at probably a future live stream and have fun in Tennessee too. We're looking forward to hearing more about that Off-Roadeo as well. So
Looking forward to
once
y'all
it
guys coming
opens.
down. I know there's a Bronco Nation takeover pretty quick once
Yes.
we get started.
Yes.
So
Yes.
really glad to have y'all guys over. So
Well, that's fantastic. Thank you, Corey. I'm glad you guys are going to be ready for us.
thank you.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys.
Okay, so we know what you want to see is more Broncos too. So we've got another set of Bronco interviews from Jon Melton. So we're going to flash over to those and we'll see what we've got on this next set.
All right, I'm here with Julius, and Julius, I got to say, you probably have one of the wildest Broncos here. Tell me about this thing.
I mean, the trick was they say don't do better, do different. So when you look at it like that, I put 34-inch rims on the two-door Bronco, and people said I'm crazy because the rims are bigger than the truck.
They're huge, man.
I mean, I love them.
Yeah.
You know, I designed the rim.
Nice.
You know, my own design. I kept with a black and white color combo. This is a bad lens. A lot of people thought I took a base model and put all the upgrades, but they call them the barbecue holders. I have all the barbecue holders.
That is amazing. Well, this thing looks amazing. How much of a lift do you have on this?
So it goes up to a 7.5. We went with close to like a 7. I still wanted to look like it was a car, not like a monster truck, even though it looked like a monster truck.
Yeah.
And as it stands right now, I have the tallest new school Bronco.
Wow, this thing is amazing. And this is one of the things that I love about Bronco is everyone can make it their own.
Yeah, you could custom.
A lot of people would say, oh, I would never do that to my Bronco, but I love it because it's you know, and it's like, I love that you've made it your own, even with the bumpers, with the lift, with all of it. It really...
The thing I like about this Bronco, you could sit it next to another Bronco, but it draws so much attention because it's different.
Yeah.
I've changed the fenders, I've changed the bumpers, I've changed the back tail lights. And the thing about a Bronco, you can be yourself with it. It can when you see it, you say, that's a nice toy.
Yeah.
That's what I look at them as, a toy.
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. Would I buy another one? I'm looking at the four-door right now.
Perfect. Well, I can't wait to see what you do with the four-door.
36-inch rims.
There you go.
36. Why not? 2 more inches.
Oh my gosh. This thing is beautiful.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Thank you. I appreciate
love
it.
it. Thanks for
Thank you.
having it. All right, Cam and Laura, I'm starting to sweat out here at the, you know, it's hot, but it's full of energy because we're at the Woodward Dream Cruise talking to Bronco people. All right, so tell me your name and what is behind us.
I'm Casey Wagner. That's my 2021 Badlands. Started off as a non-Sasquatch. Since then, it's now on about 4 inches of lift, 37-inch tires, the KM3s. We've got an awning up here. I have a room, annex room with it. A shower room on the other side, actually.
Whoa. Nice. And
yeah.
I mean, this thing just looks great. I love the stance of it when you're driving down the road. Like, it looks like a Bronco should. And that's, I mean, 37's on a Bronco. That's the way it should be. Now, you've taken this thing all over, haven't you? Where have you gone?
I've taken it to Colorado several times, Moab 3 times, even trip to California.
Nice. Okay, what would you say? What is like favorite experience or trail or moment in this?
Probably my favorite trail that I've gotten to do in this is Golden Spike in Moab.
Yes.
Great trail.
That is a great trail. Super fun. Moab, I mean, the Bronco is made for Moab, and
absolutely,
it's so fun to see them up there, to be able to take a Bronco, lock your lockers, and just climb up whatever you want.
I agree.
It's a lot of fun. Well, Casey, thank you so much for letting us just peek at your Bronco, take a look around. Back to you guys.
Fantastic seeing Julius's Bronco and Casey's. Casey, I know, has put a lot of work into that one. And Julius, I know, has an immaculate sound system on that Bronco. We were able to hear some of the music across the park earlier. So good to see those. Great to see how people use their vehicles. Cameron, are you an off-roader? Or are you going to be a more daily commuter? How do you think you're going to use your Bronco? How are you using the Iceland Bronco right now?
For the Iceland Bronco, you know what, it is a little more off-roading, but soon to be when I get my own Bronco, fingers crossed, I would like to use it as a hybrid vehicle. I don't think it would be my daily driver, but I am not the craziest, most experienced off-roader, but I would want to take that out on the trails, as well as do some more overland style camping things with it as well. So.
Yep, and I like using mine as a daily driver and then off-roading too, so it's great that we have these options. We have one more member interview. We've got Tamra here, and so Tamra, why don't you tell us about your Bronco, what you do? She's one of the admins. Are you the creator of the Southern Bronco Ladies group?
Yes, Southern Michigan Lady Bronco.
So why don't you tell us about that? Tell us how people in your group are using their Broncos. You do a lot of events. I see a lot of the posts on Facebook. You're at almost all the events.
Yep.
So let's get started with what are you driving right now?
Yeah, so I, like thousands of people, ordered Bronco in 2020. I waited 28 months to get my Velocity Blue Wild Track. I kept pushing it back because I wanted that painted black hardtop, and finally they're like, you're not gonna get it, order it or you're gone. So I got my Wild Track. I've never named a vehicle before. I have Fiona, and I've never bought accessories before, never joined any kind of auto group before, and I just love this community. And there's a Bronco National Ladies Club on Facebook.
Yes.
And I wanted something in our area, more social.
Yes.
Because I wasn't an off-roader, so I started the Southern Michigan Ladies Bronco group. And we get together every couple months and, you know, drive through landscaped areas and go to distilleries, that kind of thing. But I wanted to fill some gaps where we felt not ready for having an off-road vehicle.
Yeah.
So I set up a recovery class with the I4WDP. I can't say it, but that group. I found an instructor. He came to our area, and we had a warehouse class all day long. And it didn't fill with ladies, so I put it out to the Michigan Bronco Club. And then in October, we're going to have a hands-on my farm. I have a 106-acre farm in Howell, and we're going to come out there and get stuck and winch and whatever else we can do. So.
Sounds like an absolute blast. If you're in any part of Michigan or close to Michigan, Ohio, we've got a lot of people who come to the Michigan Bronco Club events from Ohio and Illinois and other places. Everybody's welcome to sign up in the Facebook group.
Excuse me?
Is everybody welcome and they just sign up in the Facebook group for that? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. That's another thing. I've got a friend that we do a Bronco book club, so we've got the Meraki hammocks, and we hang up our hammocks in the Bronco. And again, it's just fun to get together with each other. Like, it doesn't have to be off-roading. It is great when it is.
Yeah. But I have one more thing I wanted to tell you about.
Oh, please tell us.
So the Michigan Bronco Club does a Drummond Island trip every fall, and it looks very intimidating. So I got someone that had a Jeep and then got a Bronco. Her name's Susie Regalia. She and her husband and a friend who have Jeeps, they agreed to take a group of us out to Drummond Island. And we went in mid-July. And there were 7 of us that went going. And so Fiona rock climbs now. So now I have to get a lift, and I have to get rock rails, and I have to do, because she is a Wild Track. She doesn't have, you know, all the perfect off-roading stuff. But
it starts with one thing. It starts with hanging out with each other, and then maybe you branch out a little bit. Maybe you keep going. Maybe you don't, and that's okay too. But it kind of, the bug gets you, and then you want to keep going from there. So that's awesome. I'm not great at using Facebook. I never quite learned how, but I see all of Tamara's posts, and I'm like, they look like they're having an absolute blast. So highly recommend getting in a club or a group, and I think we've got a feature coming to Bronco Nation pretty soon that might make that a little bit easier.
That's right. Stay tuned for that.
So fantastic to have the opportunity to get together. Love hearing more about your story. So glad you have Fiona. And it was, what is it, the stairs there on Drummond Island? What do they call that?
The Marblehead.
Yes, yeah.
I have a pretty good picture of Fiona climbing Marblehead.
Was there water in that area where you can ford?
There's an area called Connor's Hole that's like
Yeah.
driving through a river.
Oh, yeah,
this
it's
way,
deep,
and
and
it,
it's
it was
long.
pretty scary,
Yeah.
but confidence building.
Yep, that's where they did the Everglades Media Drive back when. So a lot of great pictures in that. Fun time if you've never been to Drummond Island, Michigan. Worth the trip. Tamara, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being at the Woodward Dream Cruise with Bronco Corral, with Bronco Nation. Great having you. Glad to finally meet you in person. Looking forward to coming to some of your events, hopefully in the near future.
That's good.
Thank you for
right,
for being
thank you for
here.
having me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for being here.
All right. And we are ready to close this out. Cameron, did you get your Woodward Dream Cruise
I've got my Woodward Dream
sticker?
Cruise sticker. Please, I think we should have more, so come down. If you have not gotten your sticker yet, come get your sticker. We have gone through sunshine, we have gone through rain, and now back to sunshine in this live stream. So,
And since this is going to be a recording at this part, if you didn't get your sticker, I'm going to have a bunch in my pocket, so I might catch you at a future event. I'm also going to walk around, and we're going to get some more pictures of the Bronco. Cameron, were you getting pictures of the Broncos here so we can find them on Facebook?
I have a lot of pictures of everyone's Bronco, so stay
Sweet.
tuned for Facebook, Instagram, all socials. I love to see. I would honestly argue that one of my favorite parts, I'll say top 3 parts of getting out to these events, is checking out these things.
Oh, 1,000%.
These people's Broncos.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And watching them change from event to event.
Right.
People will come up with a lift or a new roof rack or some kind of something.
None of them
or,
stay the same.
Yeah, little additions here and there. One of our and let me stop right now too. Thank you so much to all our volunteers who helped us throughout all of this. Many of you helped us with just getting people corralled at the corral. So thank you to each and every volunteer who helped us get people parked, who got people in line, who got people safely down Woodward in the Bronco Cruise, who got us lined up for pictures. We could not do any of this without you guys. You guys are the reason that we do this. It's an honor and a privilege to be part of this community with you guys. So thank you so much for all of that. Looking forward to seeing all those pictures, Cam, that you've got, pictures from the live stream. Hanging out with you guys for the rest of the day. We still got an hour or so. The day is not done. There's time for more Bronco activities. We call out, I want to just make this, again, explicit. We call out Broncos all the time. Sports are Broncos. Many of you guys are here. We want to see more of you at these events. We talked about it with Corey, and we want to see everybody having a great time with their vehicle. That's what Bronco Nation is about, with each other, with the vehicles. Cam, any last words?
Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff today. I just wanted to call back out. If you guys are interested in anything, please check the description box below. We have links that will get you onto those pages, and you can check out further details and get signed up. Also follow us on all socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, to stay up with our news. And I just wanted to thank each and every one of you tuning in online and being here in person. I've really enjoyed getting to meet all of you guys, and I hope to keep mingling when we're done with this live stream, and excited for the next Bronco Nation events to come. We're heading out to, our next event will be Supercell West, early September, so I'm looking forward to that in Buena Vista, Colorado. So that's what I've got.
All right, we'll see you next time, Bronco Nation. Thanks for joining.
See you, everyone.